Hi, welcome to the latest episode of Mark of the Beast. I'm Mark Martinez,
I'm Logan Gordon.
and in this latest episode here, we talk about taking our first ever horror road trip, horror adventure.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll call it. It was a horror adventure. An adventure it was. We went to the Alamo Drafthouse Rolling Road Show screening of
The Bad Batch.
Yes, and like you just said, an adventure it was. We'll get a little more into it. It's the film The Bad Batch. It's the latest film by A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night, director Anna Lily Amirpour, and we'll talk a little bit more about the film itself and starring Suki Waterhouse and Jason Momoa and
the one and only Keanu Reeves.
Yes. So we'll get a little bit more into talking about the film itself and talking about the event itself, which was the true adventure.
Yeah, it was.
And after we show you this trailer for the film right
Bad
now.
Batch.
Yes.
All the things you've done have put you right here. With me. It's life. Life is the dream. The only dream. Costs a lot to be here. Costs you an arm and a leg.
All right. So we just checked out the trailer for The Bad Batch, and oh wow,
Yeah.
what?
It was a strange film. It was a good film. It takes place in a world that you don't know what's going on. All we know, it just the beginning cuts to two patrolmen shoving this girl in through these gates. And so I guess she leaves it up to the audience to figure out what's going on. But basically, it seems like they've sectioned off a part of Texas, and where they throw in the criminals and undesirables of society, which they label as the Bad Batch, and they throw them in to this desert wasteland with nothing but a jug of water, and they're like, "There you go, survive, bye," and they have to survive.
Yeah, and she runs into a group of, and there's no real spoilers here. She runs into
Yeah.
a group to survive in this wasteland. You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, what I love about the desert is, having lived in the desert for a little bit, I can understand it's a very stark and harsh environment, and when push comes to shove, you'll do whatever you have to do to survive, including something pretty horrific.
Yeah. This group that she meets up with are filled with, like, you would think were like bodybuilders, right?
Yeah.
To build up your bodies the way they do. Yeah, I mean, you all have seen Jason Momoa and see how built he is.
Yeah.
So to build up your body this much, you need a lot of protein. And the easiest way to get protein is from meat.
Yeah.
And so you can't just go to the store.
Yeah. So you'll see a lot of people walking around missing arms and legs, including our main character.
And that's no real spoiler because it's pretty much given away in the trailer and
Right.
given. And yeah, so you know.
So this happens to her, and she somehow escapes from this cannibal tribe, and she stumbles across this little community within the Bad Batch community called Comfort, and where she meets the one and only Keanu Reeves, who plays this like cult leader.
Yeah, the whole thing it's all about like it's very very polarized, the world, where she goes from meeting the bridge people who are cannibals and just doing everything they can to live, where she goes to Comfort, where they just do everything they can to escape what they're in by partying all the time, taking drugs,
Yeah.
and just kind of being
Living the dream.
living the dream, literally. And so it proceeds from there, and don't want to give anything away from about the film, but it is quite a journey that she undertakes,
Yep.
and it teaches a lot about not just about herself, but about
Yeah.
what people will do to survive,
survive.
in this world.
And another cool thing, I mean, it's so full of big celebrity names like Keanu Reeves, Jason Momoa. Did I pronounce that right? Jason Momoa, and a lot of other celebrities
You got
would.
Diego Luna. in
Diego
there,
Luna. And a lot of other big name celebrities that you would never recognize, like Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey's in the film.
So try to recognize him in the film, and
Yeah. We won't tell you who he is, but
yeah. So definitely go watch The Bad Batch, and if it's playing right now in limited release. If you haven't checked out A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night, Lily's other film, definitely go check out that. We've talked about the film, and now the part that everybody wants to hear is about the event itself, which was truly a bit of an adventure,
Yeah.
and Logan's very first Rolling Road show and her first horror adventure. So
Yeah.
I'll let her talk all about it.
well, I kind of dove right into it, almost quite literally. There was so much going on. First, there was the barbecue. That was amazing. They were roasting whole pigs, and there was zip lining. There was trapeze. There was stunt jumping. There was axe throwing.
There was a specially crafted beer for the event that was called
well, that was
the Bad Batch.
the most important part.
Yeah, yes. Copious amounts of Lone Star.
I had my first try at the trapeze, and which was a big step for me because I'm scared of heights. So I get up there and I'm like, ugh, and I jumped off, and I was swinging. I did flips and I dropped down. It was amazing. Got a lot of pictures of that. And then Mark threw some axes.
Yes.
and then
I think I made one of them into the target. One of them. It's harder than it looks. I'm surprised I didn't throw it over there and kill somebody.
And then there was the stunt jumping, which Mark jumped off the highest level, and like I said, I'm scared of heights. I had to do the baby level. But the coolest part was we got to meet the director.
Yes. We got to hang out with Anna Lily Amirpour, like I said before, the director of The Bad Batch and also the director of Girl Walks Home Alone at Night. And if you haven't checked out A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night, do it right now. Well, after you watch our episode. Go check it out, and you're in for something special. So, yeah, like you said, we got to hang out with Lily, and she's an absolute gem. She's wonderful to hang out with.
She was really
is
sweet.
witty and quirky and so sweet. And we got to swap horror recommendations. So at first she asked us like what we've been watching. I said, okay, we'll swap you. We'll give you one, and you can give us one. So we recommended Agnieszka Śmozinska's film The Lure, which is the really amazing 80s set musical mermaid horror film out of Poland, and if y'all know, I hold Polish films near and dear to my heart, as well as Polska. So so we recommend that. So in return, she gave us a bit of a treat, and she recommended our next entry into the Logan list.
Train to Busan,
Yes.
which is
So
a Korean horror film. So let's watch the trailer for that first before I go into it. It was great, but check it out.
맨날 다음이라고만 하고.
아빠는 안 보고 있는 것 같으면서도 다 보고 있다, 수아이.
팀장님, 기차 타셨어요?
점심 전에 들어갈 것 같으니까.
돌았냐 이 새끼야? 현재 대전역에 군대를 배치하여 야 빨리 와!
all right. So we just checked out the trailer for Train to Busan, and literally when after Lily recommended it to us, we went home
And watched it.
and I've got the Blu-ray, and I've seen it before, but Logan hasn't. So I put in the Blu-ray and watched it with her, and this is the thing where Logan literally went into this film blind.
Yeah.
Just on recommendation. She didn't even look at the box cover, the art, nothing. She read nothing on the film. She just went in completely blind. And what's your take on the film?
Okay, well, like you said, I never watched the trailer or anything, so I had no idea that it was going to be a zombie film. And so in the first scene, the very first scene, a guy hits a deer, and the deer gets up and walks away, and I'm like, is this a zombie film? And you're like, yeah. And
Literally in that voice.
so, yes, actually. So I'm thinking, okay, it's a zombie film. I'm thinking like shoot him in the head, machetes, knives, whatever.
Very Walking Dead-ish.
Yes, that's what I was expecting, and but it wasn't. It was unlike any zombie film I've ever seen. Yes, there was a lot of gore, there was a lot of slashing and killing, but there were no guns and there were no knives. And the cool thing is that it all took place in this very confined space where you had to survive not only this threat of death, but getting along with people and working together on how to survive, and people turning against each other. So that concept was pretty brilliant in my opinion, and the acting was fantastic. There was one point where I just had tears streaming down my face. But
She did.
Anyway, had a good ending though. It was a good film. Check it out, please.
So before we say goodbye, if you want to check out some of the pictures from our horror adventure to Alamo Drafthouse Rolling Roadshow screening of The Bad Batch, you can go on Facebook to Mark of the Beast TV on Facebook, or you can go to Twitter to Mark OT Beast TV on Twitter, and check out a bunch of pictures. If you want to see Logan flying from swinging from a trapeze, and me throwing an axe, and I think I hit the target in that picture. So it's a good picture. Definitely go check us out there. Before we sign off, we just want to give a shout out to a couple of film festivals right now. All the horror filmmakers out there that we have a couple of film festivals local that are taking submissions right now. And so Other Worlds Austin Film Festival is now taking submissions for their Underworld section of their film festival. So look them up at otherworldsaustin.com and see how to submit your horror film right now. And also our good friends at Death by Festival are also taking submissions right now for their upcoming festival in October. So look them up at deathbyfestival.com to see how to submit your film. And I'm going to let you sign off today.
Thanks for joining us. Have a good night.